The month of November is quickly approaching, which means that more Nintendo Switch games are coming out on the horizon. What are the big games for the month of November when it comes to the Nintendo Switch? Well, I kind of do one of these videos every month that breaks down what games should be on your radar when it comes to the Nintendo Switch. So what should you pick up in the month of November? That's what we're going to figure out today. So sit back, relax, make sure you subscribe to the channel, and let's talk about the best Nintendo Switch games for the month of November.
Hey, RGT 85. Hey, Sean.
Oh my God, it's Stevie Richards! Starting things off on November 1st, we have Transistor, which is an interesting indie game that I wasn't too familiar with, but when researching this video, I became kind of interested in it. Transistor is coming to the Nintendo Switch from the studio behind Bastion, and is yet another highly rated indie game that released on other platforms, but is finally coming to the Nintendo Switch. Transistor is a sci-fi themed action RPG that even adds some strategy elements into it, and it has a really nice hand-painted art style. You play as a character named Red, and you possess the Transistor, which is a powerful sword-like weapon that you can upgrade throughout the game. It looks pretty cool and it seems like a game that I would enjoy, and Transistor is hitting the Switch on November 1st, and it looks to be a really great experience. Now, before we get into the other games on this list, we have to give a huge thank you to our sponsor for this video, which is World of Tanks Blitz. What is World of Tanks Blitz? Well, I'm going to tell you. World of Tanks Blitz is a free-to-play team-based MMO game with massive tank battles. Blast through enemies online as you engage in 7-on-7 tank battles and play on any device, whether it's iOS, Android, Mac, or a Windows 10 PC on Steam. Upgrade your tanks, link up with friends on all platforms with cross-platform play, utilize in-game voice chat, and even access training rooms to learn how to play the game better. In the brand new Mad Games mode, you can access 2 brand new tanks with high customization that were designed in collaboration with Peter Pound, a principal vehicle designer for the film Mad Max Fury Road. These tanks, Gravedigger and Scavenger, are ones you will want to add to your arsenal. And if you download World of Tanks Blitz now, you will get the Scavenger tank for free after your first 50 match victories. Once you get a tier 5 tank, it's time to take down the Gravedigger. So be sure to check out World of Tanks Blitz by using the link in the description box and the pinned comment section down below. Like I said, it's free to play, and if you download World of Tanks Blitz now, you will get the Scavenger tank for free after your first 50 match victories. On November 2nd, we have arguably the biggest third-party game coming to the Nintendo Switch for the month, and that is Diablo III. Diablo III is a hack-and-slash adventure game that has you choosing from one of 7 characters, and basically you're setting out to defeat the Lord of Terror named Diablo. You can customize your character with loot found in the game, get new weapons, and unlock nearly 800 different abilities. The Nintendo Switch version of the game is unique in that it will allow for offline play, which the other versions of the game actually don't allow for. The Switch version of the game also includes a Ganondorf skin, local multiplayer with just a single Joy-Con, and the previous DLC packs for Diablo 3, Reaper of Souls, and Rise of Necromancer are included in the game. I've never really played a Diablo game before. I dabbled in the first game back on PC way back in the day, but portable Diablo sounds pretty enticing, and Diablo 3 should be a huge hit when it hits the Nintendo Switch on November 2nd. There's also a Nintendo Switch console bundle coming out with this as well, so it seems like Blizzard and Nintendo have a really good working relationship when it comes to Diablo 3. I think Diablo 3 will end up selling really well on the Nintendo Switch too, so that game comes out on November 2nd, and it's definitely a game that I will be picking up. Square Enix dropped a ton of Final Fantasy related games that will be coming to the Nintendo Switch in the latest Nintendo Direct, and we are finally getting the first game in that lineup of games on November 6th, and that is World of Final Fantasy Maxima. Now, World of Final Fantasy Maxima is a sort of celebration of the 30 years of Final Fantasy with a turn-based RPG system. Playing as 2 different characters named Lan and Ren, you search the land of Grymore, trying to tame monsters, reclaim your lost memories, and befriending a slew of characters from the Final Fantasy universe. There's a ton of fan service in this game, with the characters you come across as well, ranging from favorites from the Final Fantasy VII universe, Final Fantasy I, and more. The Maxima version of the game also allows you to utilize the new avatar system, which lets Rin and Lan change into these characters to use in the gameplay, so you're using these avatars of these classic Final Fantasy characters in the actual game itself now. The game has a really clean art style and tons of fan service, and World of Final Fantasy Maxima should be a big hit when it comes to the Nintendo Switch on November 6th. I've never played the World of Final Fantasy game before. I know the original version released a couple years ago, but I'm definitely pretty interested in this game. I love all the fan service. I love all of the classic characters that you can play as and meet across the world, so it looks like a pretty interesting game. On November 13th, the SNK 40th Anniversary Collection comes in the Nintendo Switch, and you guys know I am a big retro gamer and I love retro gaming compilations, so this game is definitely on my radar. A collection of console and arcade games from SNK's earlier days. This 40th Anniversary Collection includes games like Prehistoric Isle, Ikari Warriors, Guerrilla War, Crystallis, and many more games that are actually coming via free DLC to the collection as well. So that's pretty cool. I've never really seen a thing where they're adding more games in for free. Usually they try to charge for these things, so it's always a welcome addition to see more free SNK games come to the SNK 40th Collection. Games are going to be rendered in 1080p. You can actually rewind the games and save at any point, so if you get in a little bit of trouble, you can fix that. And of course, there is a museum mode with tons of different artwork and promo material from the games featured in this collection. There's even a really cool limited edition version available on NIS America's website that comes with like an art book and all sorts of cool extras that I'm kind of interested in, to be honest with you guys. This collection comes out on November 13th. It's $40 for the standard edition. You're getting a ton of great games from SNK's earlier days, so I think it's going to be really fun. I can't wait to pick this up and play some of these arcade hits out, and I think it'll be a really good game to pick up for Nintendo Switch owners. On November 16th, we have a big first-party exclusive coming to the Nintendo Switch, and that is, of course, Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee. After the success of Pokemon Go, Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee brings home the more simplistic stylings of that gameplay to the Nintendo Switch. Now, this game is, of course, a remake of the widely popular Pokemon Yellow, which I actually played back in the day. Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee takes place in the Kanto region and features the original 151 Pokemon, along with their Mega Evolved and Alolan forms that are from more recent entries in the series. Capturing the Pokemon in the game has been simplified to be more like in Pokemon Go, in which you can use a single Joy-Con or a Pokeball accessory that you can purchase in order to capture these Pokemon. Instead of just randomly popping up, you can actually see them on the overworld as well. There's also online features in the game, and you can battle and trade Pokemon online with your friends or with random people. I think the game has a nice visual style. I think it looks pretty clean, but it seems like the simplified gameplay has been turning off some hardcore Pokemon fans. A lot of Pokemon fans are waiting for the next version of the game to come out next year that the Pokemon Company has, of course, talked about. But honestly, I'm sure the game will sell well. I'll probably pick it up out of sheer curiosity because I haven't played a Pokemon game in quite a while. And of course, there's going to be the bundles with the game. You can get the bundle that features the Pokeball accessory, or you can actually get a Nintendo Switch custom bundle. Obviously, Pokemon Go was a big phenomenon. It'll be very interesting to see how this ends up translating into a home console game, though. Will there be enough content, and will there be enough things to do in the game that will award it a full-fledged release? I think it'll be very interesting to see, but I do have somewhat high hopes for the game. Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee comes in the Nintendo Switch on November 16th, and will probably be a huge selling game. Ever wanted to build a civilization from the ground up and achieve world domination? Well, Civilization 6 comes to the Nintendo Switch on November 16th as well, and it will allow you to do just this. This series, of course, is a huge hit on the PC, and Civilization 6 is getting its first console version on the Nintendo Switch. This is a turn-based strategy game which has you creating a civilization and turning it into a world power by upgrading your city, expanding, investing in different technology, battling other regions, and of course being involved in diplomatic talks. I've honestly never played a Civilization game before. I have played games like SimCity and of course Theme Park, and I enjoyed those games, so I might get some enjoyment out of Civilization 6. I think that the fact that you can take it with you wherever you go is definitely a big plus for games like this. I would love to see more games in this style come to the Nintendo Switch, but it'll be very curious to see how Civilization 6 performs on the Nintendo Switch, as this is mostly a PC game. There of course was a mobile port released as well, so I'll definitely be curious to see if this favors the mobile port or the PC port. But anyways, Civilization 6 comes to us on November 16th for the Nintendo Switch, and should be a pretty cool game. Following in the footsteps of games like Fortnite, Paladins, and Arena Arena of Valor, Warframe is the next free-to-play game to hit the Nintendo Switch and should be a huge hit when it arrives on November 20th. Combining elements of a third-person shooter, parkour games, stealth, and RPG elements, Warframe has you teaming up with up to 4 players to take down different missions. Doing so will allow you to gain experience and level up your character, and you can also acquire mods which are dropped by enemies in the mission as well. Everything except for a few cosmetics can be unlocked in the game as well just by grinding, which I think is a really cool feature because microtransactions sometimes bog down free-to-play experiences. Warframe has been out for quite a while, but from what I've heard, the current build of the game is far different than the initial release, and it's generally spoken about as a fantastic game in its current state. It'll be interesting to see how the Nintendo Switch version of the game fares in terms of performance, but I definitely have high hopes for this game, and of course, since it is free-to-play, we will definitely be checking it out here on the channel. Warframe comes to the Nintendo Switch on November 20th and should be a fun time. Alright, and those are the best games that are coming to the Nintendo Switch in the month of November. A bit of a quiet month, but I think there's something for everyone in this collection of games, and I think there'll be some good times to be had. Of course, there will be more eShop releases that will probably pop up as well, so always be on the lookout for that, but at the time of this filming, these are the games that have been announced. So let me know in the comments section down below what games you plan on picking up. And as always, thank you for checking out this video. I want to give a big thank you to World of Tanks Blitz for sponsoring this video. Be sure to check out the link in the description box and the pinned comment section down below and try the game out. And as always, I will catch you guys on the next video. Later.